All right, episode 115, the most expensive marketing mistake you'll make and why you'll never see it coming. Some of the most expensive marketing mistakes look like smart, responsible decisions. In this episode, we break down a common pattern seen in marketing strategies for small and medium-sized businesses, where well-intentioned marketing hires quietly slow progress, drain momentum, and delay results. And I'm going to turn myself down slightly. See, you bring in new people like Joe Cimino right there, and every one of them makes the same exact mistake. And you know what that is?
You're too loud.
They run the audio too loud. Exactly. And so we're going to talk about young people making the same mistake or with your hires and so forth in this one. And there are hidden costs to this that are often overlooked with no red flags or dramatic failures, just time and money slipping away unnoticed. If your marketing feels busy but not effective, or if your marketing results always seem just one more week away, this episode will hit close to home. He's Matt Hansen. He comes from academia, but he actually has a little bit of experience in the real world as a digital marketing guru. How you been, man?
I'm good.
You see, I knew he had turned you off. There it is.
There we go.
Yeah, you're good now.
All right. Yeah, no, I'm good. This one stemmed from kind of my week so far. I know we're only on Thursday, but I have had a week where I have talked with many businesses on this topic that we're going to talk about today. So let me bring you back to recently. We were doing some work in our house, and my wife wanted to put some wood floors, and she wanted to paint, and she wanted to do some trim work, and we did the fireplace and all this other stuff. And
should have talked to the guy who just left.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, but we're going into this process, and she starts saying, "All right, well, let's go buy the stone. You can do the fireplace. You can do the mantle. You can do the floors. You can do the painting. All of these things." And I finally just looked at her and I said, "Okay, stop. I am not doing any of that. I know I can do all of that, and I know, if you really want me to do this, I will do it. But I'm not going to do this." And she looked at me kind of funny, like, "But you do this all the time in other spaces." I said, "I do, but I don't want to do this job." And she looked at me and asked me why. And I said, "Because it's going to take me longer to do this, and we're going to spend money on things. And it's just not a good use of our time or a good use of our money. Let's not do this." So we didn't paint, but we ended up putting in wood floors. We ended up putting in stone around.
Real wood?
Real wood. So stone around the fireplace, a new mantle we ordered from Home Depot, and all this other stuff. And I hung a TV and all this other, right? So all of this work was done in literally like a week and a half, right? So we turned this whole room over in a week and a half. It was like 8 days. How long would that have taken me? Probably 3 weeks, 4 weeks maybe. And she had a timeline. She wanted to get it done. My daughter had some like a winter formal dance coming up, so she wanted pictures and all this other stuff. But why am I telling you this? Because all of this week, I've had this same conversation with business owners where they are hiring people to do things for their marketing, and they're trying to find that catch-all handyman that can do everything. And they're calling me in panic because the handyman has either messed something up or doesn't know how to do something. Right? So they've hired this marketing person that's going to come maybe it's their brother-in-law. Maybe it's somebody they know from a former job. Maybe it's somebody that knocked on the door. But they're hiring them, and they're trying to put them into all of these individual spaces. So let's go back, right? So my living room, we wanted to do wood floors. Well, I could have done it myself, but I hired my next door neighbor is an amazing wood floor person, so we hired him.
What kind of wood you put in?
We had to match the red oak that we had, so we stained it down.
Stained it red oak. Okay.
Yeah. The fireplace, guy that lives across the street is a bricklayer. So we had him come over and he took care of it.
So you didn't buy one of those pre-built brick fireplaces?
No, it's rock and everything else, right? Again, why? Because they were in and out, knew exactly any problems that were coming up. They knew how to handle them. They knew how to move quickly. So let's take you to some stories, right? So this week, I've got this company, and I don't want to name any names, but they called me. They're having some issues. Their website is getting flagged by Google and some of the advertising that they're doing, and they just don't really know the ins and outs. Like, I've worked with them on some things in the past. They contact me only. The funny part is that I feel like they only contact me when they're in disarray, something's happened, they're those types of things. But they have a really great marketing agency working with them. But the marketing agency that they have is a creative agency at the core. They are creative, right? And now this creative agency is working on their website, is working in their Google paid search ads and all this other stuff. And the problem is I'm actually being pulled into these conversations to try and help get them out of the problem, right? So they've hired somebody.
So now they've got the creative agency doing their website, and so now they got to go to you to kind of expedite and fix things.
Right. So I'm coming in. So it's the same thing as, hey, I just put wood floors in my house. I have huge gaps. Can you come over here and fix this for me? That's what we've done. That's what we're doing here, right? So I'm not saying that this agency is phenomenal on the creative side and they do tremendous work, but you also got to realize, hire for the job that you're looking to do. So go out there and find somebody that knows the ins and outs of these types of things, right? So we actually have people that used to work at Google that are helping kind of facilitate this problem. But honestly, that's just one story that I have from this.
All right, so let me address that for the small. If you guys remember, this is Mastering Local Marketing, and I have to reiterate that because we actually record this live on the radio, and it plays a ton on my radio stations. So this is Mastering Local Marketing podcast. We've done 115 of these. If you go watch or listen to every one of them, you'll get basically an MBA or even a PhD in local marketing. But there's two things to pull out of that. As I'm actually, like you, I'm just a small to medium-sized business, a local business. The one thing that I have pulled from this podcast, doing this podcast, is that you have to delegate your duties away. And if you some of the stuff that you do, you have to get better. You've been the small to medium-sized founder. Everybody wants to talk to you on sales. You're also running operations, and you're trying to do marketing, and you can't do any of this very well. So you have to do it. But there's a further step that I got out of your discussions, and that is that you have to delegate to the right place.
Right.
And that's what we're talking about today. I've certainly gotten better at the first part. Mm-hmm. And the second part is something that I'm learning. Like, you saw me do that. I go, here's what you're good at, Matt. You're going to, take care of this move, and you're going to rebuild this thing, and that's all you're going to do. And he's like, oh, I want to do this. I go, no, you're good at it. This is what you do. And I've delegated it to him. But it's very hard to figure out what each person's good at, what they should be doing, what would contribute to the organization best, and give that stuff up that you used to do. And I'm sure you deal with that a lot. Sure. You dealt with me when we first came along. I was doing everything, and I'm like, you know what? This guy's right about one thing. I sit at nighttime. I go, what can I push off my plate? This morning, you may not even, I didn't include you on the email, but I got up, I made an AI flyer, I kicked it out. You do this, you do that, you do that. I should have it done by the end of the day. It used to be the thing that I would have waited till the weekend, done half of it, and I'd be done in about 10 days, and then it would be right at the very last minute. But now I'll have it done by the end of today. So when you're talking about the small to medium-sized business owner, talk about that problem, delegating the tasks and delegating them to the right place.
Yeah, we as a small business owner, we want to try and do everything, right? And I own small businesses, and for years I tried to do every single thing, whether it was in the agency side, whether it was some of the other smaller businesses that I'm involved in, if it's in real estate, whatever it is. Like I was trying to do it all myself, and I realized that I will move so much faster if I start to delegate some of these things. Right. So think in terms of I hire somebody to do everything, and now it takes a long time for that to get done. What are the other things that I'm missing out on? Am I missing out on sales? Am I missing out? Is it costing me extra dollars? Is it beyond the schedule or beyond the contract that we've signed with this person? I mean, there's all kinds of ways that we need to look at this. So let me take you to another example that I had this week. Right?
I know you're going to go to SEO, aren't you?
I am. I am.
So SEO is the one thing that as a small to medium-sized business owner, you hate to hear that because you never pay any attention to it, and I have to listen to it right now, and
but
we're
you're going to love
it.
this.
All
you're
right,
going to love
ahead.
this, right? So I had another company that reached out to me this week. We're kind of playing phone tag right now, but they had an SEO company reach out to them and basically said, we can get you to where you need to be and all this other stuff. And they had contacted me and said it was this huge expense that they were putting out there. They don't know anything about SEO. They've been told they need to do it. And would love to just have a conversation with me. And I said, sure, well, let's set up a call and we'll have a conversation. I said, but give me 5 minutes and I will tell you exactly where you need to go. So I went, looked at their website, looked at Google, looked to see if they had a Google profile.
There, I knew that was coming. I knew you were going there.
Didn't have one. And I said, there's there's where you need to go, right? So when we do connect, that's really, I'm not trying to sell them on that. I'm literally trying to say that if you want to show up in your local area, you need to be there, right? So there's all these tips and tricks and all these different things that you should be doing, right? So you should have an ability.
And that's what the SEO firm charges you for.
Exactly. So if you create that account, if you're generating reviews, you're uploading pictures and video, there's even kind of a little trick right out there right now where if you use Google Maps and you set your address and you use Google Maps to go to your address, it's showing Google that people are driving to your address. So there's a lot of people out there selling kind of this, this ability to do that right now.
Yellow pages of Google.
Yeah, essentially, right? So could they go in there and spend thousands of dollars on SEO? Sure. Are they going to see results tomorrow? No. And they're trying to see results right now. So all I'm telling them is it took me 5 minutes to go in there, find out that they don't even have a profile, build that profile, start populating it with reviews, populating it with imagery, video, whatever it may be. You're going to start to work up the ranks and you're going to start to get phone calls. And that is free. All you have to do is go in there and set that up. And you're not going to be charged, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 for an SEO firm to come in and start doing stuff that you're not going to see results right away.
Tell us another story.
There's a bunch of them. So
tell us about the paid ad space. I like this because I hate buying ads, but I'm doing it.
So we've been working with this company, another agency, XYZ, and they've had some real success, right? So they are generating awareness pretty significantly right now. They know who they are. We've got the ads out there. They're running consistently every single month. They're on social. They're in the paid search space. They are all over traditional media. There tons and tons of information that's out there. And they've had a change of thought. They want to go back to the SEO space. So they're changing direction. They're going, we're going to spend all of our money on the SEO side.
Instead of paid social.
Instead of what's been working. And you just kind of sit there and go, okay. I mean, again, it's not necessarily my client I'm working with. Some people, different company, but you just kind of go, okay. I know how that's going to end. I know it's going to end badly. I know you're going to come back at some point, or this new agency or whatever that you're going to go with is going to start spending those dollars again, just as they were being spent before. But again, that shiny object, right, that people are always chasing. They hear something, they hear SEO, and, oh, well, we need to do SEO because it's quote unquote free, right? Yeah, if you're really good at ranking for Google, go for it. But I'm not really good at laying wood floors, so I wasn't going down that direction either.
I'm a little confused.
Yep.
If you guys know the history of this, it came about as I was an MBA student at Purdue Northwest, and
Which I found your grades the other day.
They weren't perfect, but hey, you know what? I just had to get through it.
Sorry, go ahead.
All I wanted was the marketing, and that was. But anyways, in your marketing class, you spend a really long time talking about SEO and how to get good at it, and you know what the little tricks are and so forth. But here you are now, talking about, hey, paid ads are the way to do it, and you don't have to go spend a bunch of money on an SEO firm. What the hell you got against SEO?
Nothing. But are you looking for results today, or are you looking for results in a year from now, right? If I can send 1,000 people to your website today, that's much better than sending 1,000 people over the next 365 days, right? Like, SEO takes time, and technology, you have to understand what it is that you need to do. You're running a small business. You don't have time to do that. So you might as well take the quick wins that you can take, right? So like if I threw it out there and I said, all right, spend $100, or better yet, an SEO firm is going to come in and try and charge you any minimum $500 a month, right? Okay, so we take that $500 a month, and you don't see any results on that for 3 months. So you've put $1,500 into it before you start seeing any traffic come over. I could take $1,500 and start driving traffic to your website right now. Whether you're e-commerce, whether you're a service-based business, I can get you phone calls right now for that money. In addition, I can also tell you to go out there and build your Google profile, right? Your business profile, which is going to drive SEO. So what we're saying is, yes, there is value in focusing on SEO, but you are not the expert. So don't try to be the expert. And if you want to go down that path, just realize that that is probably not the best use of your dollars, because you're trying to stay in business. You're trying to grow. So you want to get people that are buying right now, not people that are going to be buying in 3 months, 6 months, even 12 months away.
So let's circle back. So by saying hire small, you don't just mean like your own personnel. You also mean your agencies, your consultants, that kind of thing. But really, it kind of goes across the spectrum. For the small and medium-sized business, they love to hire small because it's cheaper. Mm-hmm. But can you get the results you need by, quote, hiring small?
Yes. You just got to ask a lot of questions, right? So if you talk to the right people, keep that in mind. You talk to the right people about the problems that you're having, and they are providing insights into the solutions. Like, they're giving you nuggets, right? So this SEO, this company that I'm talking to about SEO, I have not taken $1 from them. I will have a phone call with them, and I will make the recommendation to build their Google business profile. I won't take $1 from them. But you call an SEO firm, yeah, we'll be able to put a contract together. It's a minimum 6 months. It's $500 a month. We'll get started as soon as that contract is signed. Which one do you want to work with? Let's be honest. You'd want to work with a person that's giving you nuggets already, right? Because if they're giving you that value just in that conversation, what do you think you're going to get when you start working with them?
Well, I mean, you've got so many little aspects for the small and medium-sized business owner or their marketing department. Mm-hmm. First, we're talking definitely use people that this is what they do, mm-hmm. whether you hire them or whether you agree
contract
with them
work, right?
Or do contract work. Recognize that you cannot do all of it, no. But the second level would be you don't need to overpay either.
No.
for specifically SEO firms, and I'm with you. I get calls all the time. Hey, we can do your SEO. You don't even do it. I go, hey, when I get to it, I'll get to it. But I just don't, not a lot of people go for it. Search Google, I want to buy radio ads. It's just not something that happens. But they can be very persuasive.
They can be, because we don't understand what they're selling. They're telling us that, oh, we can, take your business to the nth degree and all this other stuff. But, just keep in mind, don't buy things. It's like saying, oh,
Is this the takeaway?
This is the takeaway, right? So don't buy Florida property in swampland, right? Like it's land, it's real estate, but you can never build on it. There's never anything there, right? So don't believe everything that you hear. Don't think that just because somebody's calling you or emailing you or sending you some kind of mailer that they know what they're doing or that they're getting real results, right? So the number one thing that I always say is, give me an example similar to what I'm dealing with, and two, who can I go talk to that's worked with you? That's huge.
Explain.
Okay. Let's say that I'm a new graduate from a university. I've just gotten a marketing degree, and I'm going to start an agency. I go out there, I start pounding the pavement. I'm talking to all these local businesses. I've got a degree. I can take your business to XYZ. Sign off on this. They have no experience whatsoever. They've probably never been in the platform. And if they have, they don't have enough time in the cockpit to really take the plane to where it needs to go. So literally, if I can see if we can talk about an example that was similar to mine, and two, I can talk to somebody that is either currently using you or has used you, better yet, used you in the past, that is no longer a customer of yours, and you're willing to give me that number, that's interesting to me. That means you're not hiding anything.
He's Matt Hansen. I'm Jim Deedlow. This is episode 115, the most expensive marketing mistake you'll make and why you'll never see it coming. It sounds like Matt Hansen's very much boycotting SEO agencies, but that's not it.
Yeah.
It's an attitude. It's an attitude. Spend your money wisely, but at the same time, delegate. Are my glasses crooked? Is that what the producers tell me? My glasses are crooked. See, if you hire wisely and hire small, although he's 6'2" or 3", you can get the results that you need. That's what that is showing right there. Let's call it right there.
Sounds
Episode 115 in the books. Until next time, see you later.